Yung Miami went live on Twitch a couple days ago, and she has been getting cooked on the timeline. Why? Because she has 0 viewers.
Rocking with it, that's a good angle.
Ain't nobody on there, Brandon. It says 0 viewers.
No, he got 27 followers.
And simultaneously getting roasted by the chat with 0 viewers? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But people were really using this tweet to get their shit off about celebrities getting into streaming, and that's what I really want to talk about today. There were quote retweets talking about the situation where they were saying stuff like, unpopular opinion, nothing against her, but celebs trying to get into the streamer lane is kind of corny to me. And this is a tweet with damn near 50,000 likes. Got another tweet right here saying, if you stream for money, you are ruining streaming. Another tweet saying, oh, streamers not corny anymore, so yeah, a lot of people were getting their shit off on Yung Miami. And yeah, if you just go through the quote retweets, yeah, a lot of people are getting their shit off. People do not like celebrities getting into the streamer wave as much as they have been. So today I want to examine if that's really valid criticism or if people are just hating. I will say this, a lot of people are right. It wasn't too long ago when live streaming was viewed as corny. It was viewed for the nerds, specifically Twitch streaming, because Twitch started off as a gaming platform. When you went on Twitch, it was a bunch of people at their desk just playing games and doing that type of content. But now, as we know, streaming has become much larger than just gaming. You have people doing these insane productions. It has expanded past gaming. Like, streaming is insane now. And with streaming becoming as mainstream as it has, it's gonna welcome a bunch of different people with a bunch of different motives. And especially with the amount of money being made in streaming and the top streamers being candid with how much they're making, yeah, a lot of people are gonna wanna get into streaming for one reason or another, a big part of that being the money.
I would say the biggest streamers right now make probably anywhere from $50 to $100 million a year. But that's the big dogs, like the big dogs.
So like you, Aiden Raw.
I don't make that at all. Not even. No, I swear to God, not even near that.
So some under that then.
But like I don't wanna fuck them up with the IRS. You know, who pays taxes nowadays? Right. But like, it's just like a thing where they make crazy money. You know, and even if you're like, I mean, still, I'm so grateful to be doing good for myself. But those are the big dogs. But those are bigger than the NBA Maxes.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's very easy to spot when someone's just trying to get into streaming for money. This is literally how they go live. All right, they hit go live, boom. They go on their phone, they start twirling their hair. Chat, what we on, man? Chat, talk to me. Talk to me. Like, it's very obvious. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't everyone. There's a couple of celebrities that got into streaming, and you can clearly see that they are doing it for the love of the game. They're actually interested in the game of streaming. I want to shout out T-Pain specifically because he's been streaming for years now, 4 years, and this is T-Pain. He made Bartender. I don't know how long Timbaland's been doing it, but Timbaland looks like he's actually taking streaming seriously. Now, Timbaland may be another video because everything he's doing with the AI music artist, that may be a whole different video of itself, but Timbaland's another good actor for now. But there's definitely a couple other people trying to get into the space, and you can just tell, bro, that they're just doing it because it's the cool thing to do now. Yung Miami is a perfect example. I seen Tyga streaming one time, and I'm like, what the fuck is Tyga doing streaming? I saw, who is bro's name? The fact that I can't even think of him is crazy. The one bad bitch and she do what I say so. Lil Mosey. I'm pretty sure I saw Lil Mosey streaming the other day, and I'm like, Lil Mosey streaming, what the fuck? So this is my thing. I don't think all of these celebrities are inherently streaming because they're broke. I think a lot of these celebrities are trying to get into the space because it's the new cool thing. I think streaming, just like how being a YouTuber was a wave at one point, just like being a podcaster was the wave at one point, TikTok was the wave at one point, being a streamer is just the next new wave. Like, do y'all remember a couple years ago when it seemed like every celebrity was launching a podcast? Like, I feel like that's what streaming is becoming, / has become. And I think the main thing that makes streaming appealing to these people is how low lift it is. Like, as soon as you hit go live on your phone or on OBS, you are technically already streaming and creating content, when real content creators know there is much more to streaming than just hitting go live. And as much as I want to say, I don't mind them, good content rises to the top, I'm gonna be honest, content creation now, and especially with streaming, that isn't necessarily the case. Like, this is the bad thing, I guess, about streaming. Like, even the biggest content creators do a lot of low-lift content that when celebrities get into it and just start treating it like an IG live, it's not that far off from what the big streamers are doing. In the grand scheme of things, I understand they're not coming up with events and doing what Kai does, but in the grand scheme of things, like, a lot of streamers really do just hit go live, talk to their chat, yap it up, get celebrities involved, yap it up some more, and other celebrities can do that. Now, I don't think there's something inherently wrong with streaming and doing content for money, because newsflash, there is big money in content creation. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The cat's out the bag. There's a lot of money to be made in this, especially with a bunch of these big streamers just giving out how much they make. Like, yeah, a lot of people want money.
For June 2025, on June 12th, I streamed 5 hours and 37 minutes. During that day, I averaged 23,462 viewers, and I received over 1,013 subs. On that day, I made $11,282, with 6,320 of those being ads, 1,797 of those being turbo, 1,477 being gifted, 1,052 doing paid gifted subs, and 622 of Prime.
Ultimately, two things. I just find it very interesting how much the narrative has shifted on streaming in a short amount of time, because again, it wasn't too long ago when streaming, one, wasn't this big, and two, was considered just for the nerd. And I think that's a direct call to the impact that streamers like Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, and iShowSpeed have made to the game. They have completely shifted what streaming inherently is. But if there is one thing I am kind of, sort of, maybe actually really worried about, is celebrities getting into streaming and starting to figure it out, because the Young Miamis and the Tigers, they haven't really figured it out. But I've seen it with YouTube. I've seen it specifically within sports content creation. Once you get celebrities actually figuring this shit out, smaller content creators trying to compete with them becomes harder and harder and harder. Now, why is that? I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty much a resource and capital diff. Like, that's what it is. I saw it on YouTube when all those late night talk shows started dominating the platform. Like, it's hard to compete with the late night show with Jimmy Fallon, and they have all this production capital and all these resources to upload 20 videos a day, and every single video is edited with the highest production quality in the world. It's hard to compete with that. I saw it within the NBA space specifically, when I started, it was a bunch of independent content creators making content and, doing podcasts. But when Gilbert Arenas comes into the space, when All the Smoke comes into the space, when JJ Redick comes into the space, with the capital that they have because they made millions of dollars in the NBA, with the network that they have because they're connected with all the NBA players, and with the level of credibility that they built prior to becoming content creators being a part of all of this, it became harder and harder and harder for independent sports content creators to make it within this field. Or at least it was capped off. Like, people's potential was definitely capped off with NBA players starting to figure out content creation. And let me get this straight. I am not saying it's impossible for streamers to make it if celebrities do figure this game out. It's just gonna become harder, and I feel like the potential and people's standards may be too high once it gets to that point. But also, you can make an argument, maybe that's what the space needs, is a higher barrier to entry. It is a higher barrier to quality content, all these different things. Maybe that is what the space needs. Also, you can make the argument that it's inherently a good thing that celebrities are trying to get into the streaming, right? Because it means that the space is being more legitimized, more brands are being involved, more eyeballs are on the industry, and it's a win-win for everyone. You can also make that case. Because I truly do believe that the excuse that content creation is becoming oversaturated has been an excuse for people for years now, and it's just never been true, you know what I'm saying? I think as long as the industry keeps on growing, there's always gonna be space for people. But I do think what celebrities, again, brings to the table is just a capped potential. But with that being said, let me know what y'all think about all this in the comment section down below. Is celebrities getting into streaming good or bad for the industry? Can definitely see both sides here. But with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.